our discussion. Last class we discussed about the equilibrium p-n junction, right? Now let us discuss what happens when we apply a bias, right? So in case of equilibrium, current does not flow, but the current components are there. So electron diffusion, electron drift, both are there, and these components cancel. Now, what is the which one of them is the cause? Which of those is the effect? First of all, at the barrier, electrons and holes they diffuse from high concentration to low concentration, and that exposes some of the fixed charges, and which will produce the electric field. And this electric field in turn will produce a drift current, which will be equal and opposite to the diffusion current. So there will be net zero current. And we also discussed there are four components, right? Electron drift, electron diffusion, hole drift, hole diffusion. And then now let us analyze what happens when we forward bias or reverse bias. Now forward bias is defined as when the applied voltage is positive to P side. So when P side is positive, this is forward bias. When P side is negative or N side is positive, this is reverse bias. Now why we call it forward bias or reverse bias? If you look at the diagram here, when we apply a positive to the N side, then it will attract the electrons, right? And your depletion region will become white. Similarly, negative side here, so it will attract the holes and your depletion region will become white. So your overall depletion width will increase. Or you can understand like this. For P side, Fermi level is near the balance band. For N side, Fermi level is near the conduction band, right? In case of equilibrium, Fermi level is constant, right? But when we apply a positive bias here, right? So if you apply a positive bias here, what will happen? This Fermi level will go up or go down. Now Fermi level is energy, right? And energy is minus Q times voltage. Now we are applying positive voltage, so energy will be minus QV. So it will go down by minus QV. So this will be your Fermi level, and then these bands will bend further, right? So overall barrier will increase by the built-in potential plus applied potential. So overall potential barrier is built-in potential plus applied voltage. So what are the expression for depletion width? It will be same expression where the V naught or built-in potential will be replaced by total potential. So same expression with B replaced by V built-in plus applied reverse bias. Okay, and in reverse bias will current flow? Of course, the barrier is even higher, right? So there is a high barrier for electrons and there is a high barrier for holes, right? So none of them can diffuse, right? What about the drift current? Now we have higher field, right? Now electric field is higher. So what about the drift? Will drift current increase? We will see in coming slides that drift current will not increase. Why? Because in general we see there are a lot of carriers, and when we apply a field, their velocity is mu times c, so they move faster, right? But in this case we have less number of carriers, right? So it is not the how fast they move, right? How many of them move actually? That is a question. That's why current does not increase, the drift current. Okay. Now let us see what will happen in forward bias. Now in forward bias, we apply a positive voltage to P side, right? So this will repel the holes, right? So your and the other side, N side, will repel the electrons, right? So your depletion width will decrease, right? So with narrow depletion width, again we can use the same expression. The only difference will be we will write V built in minus applied voltage or forward bias voltage. So we can write a general expression where W is V built in minus V applied, where V applied is positive for forward bias. So this is this V decreases, right? Now you notice here, if VBI is 0.7 or 0.8, what will happen when your V applied becomes 0.7, crosses this value VBI? The see, when they are equal, then it will be something like flat band, right? Let's say your VBI is equal to VB naught. So Fermi level difference will be V naught. So they will become flat, right? Now this is N type, this is P type. So if you apply more voltage, they are supposed to be like this, right? But that is basically very unlikely because large amount of current will flow. See, if you see here, this is N type, it has a lot of electrons, right? So it is supposed to give electron. Now there is no barrier, so a lot of electrons will flow, right? So this actually situation does not arise in real life. If you force it, your device will be spoiled. Basically, it will burn out. A lot of current will flow. So we usually don't go beyond this built-in potential. And you will also see later on that current actually varies exponentially. So very large amount of current will flow. So we just assume somewhere near there, somewhere near the built-in potential. Okay. Now this concept I think we have already discussed. When you apply the positive voltage, what happens? Because energy is minus Q times potential, right? So for positive voltage, the band will go down. For negative voltage, band will go up. And when Fermi level is not constant, current will flow. And when Fermi level is constant, current will not flow. So these concepts are just for review. And these are the expression for current. Q is equal to Ni exponential EF minus Ci by kT. P is equal to Ni. P is equal to Ni exponential Ei minus EF by kT. Now, when we apply the voltage, they are not in equilibrium. So you will not have same Fermi level, right? So that's why we define separate Fermi level for electron and holes. And they are all called quasi Fermi level. That concept also we have discussed. So let's summarize. In equilibrium, V applied is 0. You have a certain depletion width. There is a barrier for electron and holes. There is a band diagram. The barrier. Now these two barriers are same in this case. QV naught for electron, QV naught for hole. Is it possible that we can have different barrier for electron than holes? Please think about it. In coming lecture we will answer this question. But right now you can start thinking about. Is it possible, in some way that if we can have different barrier for electrons and holes? And here you see these are 4 current components due to holes. The solid line is due to holes, and dashed line is due to electrons. So hole drift and diffusion, electron drift and diffusion, right? They are just equal, right? And they are cancelling out. So there is a net 0 current. When you apply the forward bias, your barrier reduces. And you can say that the depletion width also reduced by VBI minus V forward bias. Please notice one more thing here. Depletion width is proportional to the square root of voltage. Because this width is related to the capacitance, right? If you assume it to be parallel plate capacitor, capacitance is epsilon by D per unit area. You cannot epsilon divide. So capacitance per unit area is epsilon by D, right? So D is, you can say, roughly, very same as width, right? So that means capacitance varies 1 by square root of voltage, right? So this you should remember. Now in forward bias, of course, is BVI minus V forward, we don't increase much, but if you see reverse bias and you apply, voltage of few volt, then it's already, more than VBI, right? So you can approximate is to be, square root of just applied voltage. Otherwise, exact expression will be, of course, V built in plus V reverse bias. Now in forward bias, what happens? Now the barriers are lowered, so both electron and hole diffusion will increase, right? So electron diffusion current and hole diffusion current has increased. What about the drift? Now drift is arising from the minority carriers, right? So it remains almost unchanged because these carriers are very small there. So again, field is reduced, but it will not, slightly it may reduce, but not much. So the drift current is more or less constant. It does not change. So only the diffusion current will increase in forward bias. In reverse bias, what will happen? Your potential barrier has increased. Now this barrier is again same for electrons and holes. That means your diffusion has decreased, right? Both electron and hole diffusion current has decreased. Now drift remains same, right? So in case of reverse bias, it will be only the drift current, which is exactly equal to the diffusion current under zero bias, under equilibrium, right? So you have the basically same current as the zero bias current, but in zero bias or equilibrium, they were cancelling each other, right? Now by applying a reverse bias, we have reduced the diffusion current, right? So only drift current is there. Summary. So at PN junction at equilibrium, it sees a certain depletion width and a built-in potential barrier. In forward bias, the depletion width and the barrier both shrink. And of course, you have higher current, which is mainly due to diffusion. And there is a splitting of quasi Fermi level in both the cases, in forward bias and reverse bias. So of course, there is a high diffusion current in forward bias, and there is a fixed drift current in the reverse bias. So you have a symmetrical IV curve. So with this, I close this chapter. We will take quick one or two questions, then we will move to another slide.